Skill quarterfinal, community round. All athletes will be competing on the field of play at once. There are 9 challenges. Athletes will have 30 minutes to complete as many challenges as possible. They will receive a half point for every completed challenge. Points received in this round will carry over to the subsequent days of competition. Challenge 1. Athletes have to perform a dive roll across the gap over the highlighted block. Challenge 2. Athletes must perform a Kong precision to the rail, and then immediately upon landing, they must plyo precision the second rail. Challenge 3. Athletes must do a pop cast to Lachey precision onto the highlighted wall. Challenge 4. Athletes must start on the high wall and perform a drop precision, sticking the landing on the highlighted wall. Challenge 5. Athletes perform a Kong precision to the first wall and then immediately do a plyo to cat leap on the highlighted wall. Challenge 6. Athletes must perform a Lachey to cat on the vertical pole. Challenge 7. Athletes must start on this 9-foot wall and perform a cat 180 precision to the highlighted wall. Challenge 8. Athletes must perform a Lachey 90 degrees to their right-hand side, cat the wall, and immediately do a cat 180 to precision on the highlighted wall. Challenge 9. Athletes must start with a stride across the rail into a much larger stride to cat leap onto the highlighted wall. Athletes are off.
Okay, looks like we got Megan McQueen going for the precision challenge to the planter.
It's a big drop pre. You got to be careful on the ankles. There is the possibility of bouncing, but there's also a block.
Oh, just a little bit of a slide there. A ski-style stick, if I do say so myself.
Yep. Just a little slip. That definitely happens with the bigger challenges. I'm seeing some people kind of rock through this dive roll challenge pretty quickly.
Oh, Renee going for that swing with a no-go from Coach Lucas.
So we were just informed that today and today only, we will be going off of a 30-second delay from what we're looking at. So we're live watching the competitors do these challenges. We also have a screen in front of us showing us a 30-second delayed live stream. Now, we're going to do our best to commentate what we're seeing. If it doesn't quite match up with what's happening, that should only be for the skill portion while everyone's going, because there's a lot of different things to focus on. Once we move towards the speed and the style, there's only going to be one thing to focus on. Everything's going to be synced up beautifully.
Beautiful, and can't wait to see that happen. But for now, we'll be accompanying you on this journey. I've talked to a couple different skill competitors, and the approach that I'm hearing that seems to be working for a lot of people is doing the challenges that seem to be easier to you first, so that when you are starting to burn through some attempts for some of these bigger challenges, that you're not, that they're not challenges that you should be doing later on with more energy.
As you said that, Sydney Olsen with a beautiful stick on this drop precision.
Let's go.
And I completely agree with that outlook. You also want to use it as kind of warm-up time. Feel out the course, get used to how your body's feeling. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of anxiety. Get some of that out on the easier ones you know you can complete. Then you can use the rest of your time to just hit challenge after challenge.
Getting those shoe wipes in, Megan. Let's go.
Megan goes for the drop pre.
Oh,
overshooting just a little extra. And as I said before, there is that little block right in front of that drop pre, so the bounce makes it look significantly more sketchy than it normally would be.
And Hannah Kim going through some reps on here. Looks like she's moving on to a different challenge or grabbing some chalk, not quite sure. Oh, just a little bit too much for Megan. We've got Louisa in the corner just working on this Lachey challenge.
Oh. Ooh. Very solid on the Lachey cat, just couldn't quite hit the hit the stick to the box.
Yeah, it looks like she's going a little bit too far to her left side.
All right, you might hear the crowd going crazy right there. Sydney Olsen hitting the Kong Pre Plyo Pre to the rail challenge. I'm fairly certain that was her first attempt, and she aced it.
Let's go, Sydney. Renee, calm, cool, and collected, going for this precision. I think this is her first attempt.
Let's go, Renee. Beautiful. Louisa just hit the Lachey challenge, hit that 180 pre that time.
Nice one. Renee with just a little bit too much momentum, needs to dial it back for her next attempt. Oh, Hannah Kim, so close.
It came in so well, just leaned it forward a bit too much right at the end. Now, one of the terms you're going to hear us say quite a bit throughout the skill challenges is acing a challenge. That basically means doing it on your first attempt. Now, during this segment, that doesn't matter so much. As long as you get the challenge, you get your points. But it's still, you know, a little extra style points to show you got it.
Let's go, Renee. All right. So for those who aren't informed on parkour culture, what Renee's done there is called a stick. And basically that's what a lot of our competitors are shooting for, is trying to land precisely on an edge with not too much or too little momentum, just the right amount that'll take you there and not any further. And that is what we go for in parkour.
You'll see with a lot of these bigger jumps or these downward drop pre's, what can happen is you get your body in the right spot, but last second you try to readjust your feet, and then you get some little slippage going forward or backwards. You almost want to think about it like you're coming down like a rainbow, so you're landing right on top of it, and you don't have to fight that slide at the end. Looks like Sydney's over here.
Oh, Louisa, just a little bit too much. And Megan's back for the precision. She's been chipping away at this one. Just a little bit too much for Megan each time. Would love to see her go for an undershoot just so she can find that balance.
And we got Alyssa and Sydney going back to back on the stride to cat challenge. Both of them just hit it right there.
Nice.
Beautifully done. We got Sydney Olsen, mostly known for her style, but also was taking podium and doing extremely well in skill competitions as well. And Alyssa, very solid in the skill herself, kind of a legend around here.
And Renee's working on this concrete plyo challenge. Just a little bit too much momentum on that last one. Fighting for that stick. There we go.
Nice work.
Secured the bag, Renee. Let's go.
Now today we are doing quarterfinals for all of our events, whether that's skill, speed, or style. What we're watching today are the quarterfinals.
So Sydney's just clocking this catback 180 over here. Looks like she wasn't set up on that last one. She was just a little bit too close to the right-hand side. So she's got to lash it a little bit further. And it looks like she's good for that catback.
And that's one of the cool things that you see from Sydney right there. She didn't do the entire challenge. She said, I want to get a rep in of just this catback, so that's what I'm going to do so that next time I send the challenge, I can put it all together.
And break it down piece by piece. That's how we do it in parkour. And it looks like Renee is going back for the challenge off of the green block. I haven't gotten a good look at this one yet. I'm going to have to watch the monitor here.
Ooh, Alyssa Serpa went for the cat to 180 pre. Couldn't quite get the power, had to bail out in a little bit of a crane. Still very controlled. Ooh. And Megan, I believe, is our youngest athlete today. I believe she is 15 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
And coming all the way from Denver, Colorado to compete here. Okay, Sydney and Hannah Kim over in the corner here. Looks like Sydney's going to go for an attempt. After breaking it down, she's just visualizing, collecting herself.
Alyssa's second attempt on that cat 180, she got it.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like Sydney just had a little misstep in the legs. She wants to looked like she wanted to bring her right leg down, but as it turned out, her right leg was high, so she decided to bail out of that one.
And that would be tough, doing it off of the wrong foot.
Yep.
And Hannah just not getting those feet in the right position. That's the tough part about that cat, is your feet need to be in the right spot right from that lachey, because if you reset your feet, it will not count.
Yep.
It's got to happen right away.
Has to have that plyometric motion. Another thing I was talking to the competitors about that they were mentioning to me is that this is strongly favoring people who like to release and turn to their right on lacheys. Some people prefer turning right, some prefer left.
Ooh. And she's okay. A little bit of a peel, but she hit the sandwich wall on the way down. Looks like she's all good.
Nice recovery. But as I was saying, this strongly prefers a right side release, and I know for a fact a few of our competitors prefer left-handed releases. So that can make going down into this cat, as you can see from Sydney right there, way more challenging.
Still finishing that attempt. Not too bad, not too bad.
Ooh, great work right there from Hannah. She made a really good adaptation. She just fully let go of her left hand, which causes her to only be holding on with that right, and it makes you turn to the right. She did a really solid cat. Couldn't quite pull out the 180 pretty.
Alyssa Serpa with the ace. Woo! All right. I'm talking with Coach Steph about it. Nice, looks like it's good.
And that is one small thing that the coaches or that the judges are out there looking for. If your heels are on top of the platform, it's probably not going to count as a stick. We're looking for balls of the feet landings, and if your heels slide forward, they're not going to give you the go-ahead. Sydney hits the cat.
And set up nicely for that 180, though.
It's one small thing that you don't really think about until you're up there trying it. There is a platform under them, so if you let your leg hang too far, it's going to catch the platform, and then that's going to be the end of your attempt.
And it looks like Hannah's setting the incorrect leg still. If she can just get her other leg up and then kick off of it when she switches, I think she'll have a lot more success.
Interesting technique.
Actually looking good.
But it works.
Was that good?
I could not tell.
Yeah, hard to tell.
Looks like she's still looking at it. She's going to give it another try.
A little bit too much downwards momentum on that from Sydney Olsen.
Yep.
And the tough thing with chipping away for a challenge like that is you're going from a lachey straight into a 180, and both of them are quite arm-heavy movements. So it's a quick route to burning your arms out if you're doing too many attempts.
And I know from specifically talking to Sydney, she prefers swinging to her left side, and this is that right side challenge. You hit the wall a little bit off balance, and you're not going to be able to plyometrically go into that next movement.
Bad news bears for Sydney Olsen then.
Kasha back up.
Oh, just slipped. Her foot was a little bit too low, so it slid down the wall. You got to find that nice balance between too high and too low. Oh!
Ooh. Great attempt there from Hannah. She almost had that drop pre-stick, just tried to hold on by the toenails, couldn't quite do it, overshot it.
I wish my toenails could hold on to a ledge. Well, let's go, Louisa. Oh!
Beautiful!
That is the second battle we've seen for that stick. Both Louisa and Renee with a really nice counterbalance at the end of that challenge. Let's go, Renee!
Looks like Renee just aced it on the Lachey cat to the pole.
And it looks like that's it for Renee. I'm seeing an X in the arms. I think she's all done with her challenges. That's it. I confirm Renee Dambley is done all of the challenges.
Well done.
Let's go.
All right, Kasha hit that pre she was looking for.
Very nice.
Alyssa going up for the cast Lachey.
Oh! Ooh. And a big peel from Alyssa falling onto her back. Thankfully, that was into a foam pit and not on hard floor.
True, very
Could have been really bad. And hopefully that hasn't shaken her mental too much from that. I know it can be quite scary returning to bars after a bail like that.
And again, right now things might seem a little bit hectic because we do have all of our female skill competitors out there on the course right now trying to complete these challenges within that time limit. And that is how our quarterfinals is going today.
Ooh.
Those of them that make it through, their scores will be moving forward into the subsequent days.
All right, Hannah Kim looking at that plyo to the bar. Interesting, the split leg technique. I see some athletes go for that with their upstart, and I'm not sure what the difference would be between like a feet together versus feet split. Do you know at all?
It's got to be personal preference. I know some people, I've heard some people like to drive one leg back harder to get a bigger backswing, and that can help on the release, but I think it just comes down to a lot of personal preference, and it might help if you don't quite have the shoulder strength to lift on that backswing.
Because that upstart is comprised of two different movements. There's the pull and kick, and then there's also the scoop at the end. So, yeah, perhaps that lends itself better to the scoop right at the end. Okay, we've got Louisa lining up for this Lachey to cat challenge. Also, Sydney getting those attempts in.
Good cat on that one.
Oh,
there it
go.
is. All right, nicely done, Sydney. She's been battling with that one for a while now. I'm sure she's going to feel really good taking that off. Let's see it, Louisa.
Ooh. Just leaning a little bit too far back. And now Sydney is ascending up to this other Lachey challenge. Interesting enough, this one is a... Oh, yeah, okay. This one is a left side Lachey, so helping out some of our left side preference people.
And I think you will see some of the people that were heavily struggling on that previous Lachey challenge, they might be getting this significantly easier. Although it is a much larger Lachey.
Okay, here comes Kasia.
Oh, good distance. Upper body didn't quite get there. And you're going to see them trying to use their shoulders to throw the bar behind them to bring their upper body in line with their lower body as they release.
All right, here comes Sydney, hot off of her last victory down at the Lachey challenge.
See how this goes. I know she prefers that left side.
Oh, okay.
Now, I would guess from the look of that one that that was a feeler. She didn't give it all on her cast, and I'm the exact same way. I get super scared on my first cast Lachey. I would bet that her next cast is a little bit higher, and if she does it again after that, then she's giving it full power.
And I like that she's doing a kip to cast. You can get a lot of momentum and power from that as opposed to an upstart. And Louisa going for the upstart?
I completely agree. It's going to give you the most power, but it's also going to be a bit harder to control.
That's right. And that's kind of an ongoing theme in parkour is the more power you put in, the more difficult it can be to control. So competitors are trying to find that balance between putting in too much and too little power to get these challenges. And Kasia all the way from Denver, living in Bend, Oregon now. Really nice kip. And it looks like her cast was just a little bit too low. If she gets those heels higher, she's got that for sure. And now let's see if Sydney can send this, give it a full cast. See if our theory was true. Oh, just a little bit more. All right. Hannah Kim nailing that challenge.
Let's go.
Okay, looks like Louisa's visualizing her way through with the shoe wipe. She is ready to go. And we'll see if she can make it with that upstart technique again.
Good forward swing.
Just a little bit short.
Yep. We still have 13 minutes on the clock. Definitely enough time. The problem is it looks like some of our athletes are starting to gas out a little bit. It's going to be important to see who can just kind of relax, realize that time is on their side right now. They can take a little break and then come back fully recuperated, then hit that challenge that's been evading them.
Oh, I stand corrected. Hannah Kim's still working on that challenge. That's right. If these athletes can keep their cool, stay calm and controlled, try not to put too much adrenaline into it, and execute these challenges while staying...
Whoa! Kasha, that was massive. She had so much power on that Lachey. Her feet actually landed on the bar as well to get that cat leap.
Wow. Let's see the replay here. And us commentators are just watching this replay of Kasha's attempt. Oh, yeah, with the kip, too. Yeah, let's go. I don't think we've seen anybody cat onto the bar like that.
No
That's great.
chance. We got Sydney over there looking at the pop cast to Lachey pre. And that can be very scary because coming off of that wall, you already set your hips really high. Once you grab the bar, you're kind of on a roller coaster. And if you can control it, you get power. If you can't control it, it's not looking so good.
Tell you what, you're going to need Chalk at your side for that scary adventure.
Definitely.
Trusty companion, that Chalk.
Oh, on the toes!
What a clean stick! Hannah Kim! It's the
That
nicest stick we've seen on that challenge so far.
must have been the nicest stick we've seen all day so far.
In the UK, they call that a ding! I agree.
Kasha setting up for this drop pre. Sydney Olsen going for the Lachey again. Doesn't look like she's comfortable enough to let go of that bar, though.
Really difficult to get your hips up from that, that cat, going from the cat into the swing.
All right, Kasha right in front of us hits that stick. There was a hair of a slide on her feet, but our judge says it's all good.
And Alyssa is over at the Kong Plyo Challenge. Just looking at that run up. She's tested the crane a few times, but it doesn't look like she's feeling quite confident enough to get her both feet on that bar just yet.
Yeah, the next step really is not even thinking about the plyo. Just get both feet to the bar. Get comfortable with bouncing both feet off of the bar. Once you're there, then you can really start putting power in, because you know if you undershoot it, overshoot it, your feet are going to hit the bar. Kasha testing out the second precision in that one. Looks like she's got it no problem. Nicely done, Sydney.
Good stuff.
Committed to that release, and as we said, she got the power, hit the stick.
And is that it for Sydney? Does she have any more challenges to go? Looks like she's going back up.
It's hard to see the stick from this angle, so she might have had a bit of a slide on it.
Yeah, it looks like she's setting up for another attempt. All
there
right.
we go.
Sydney Olsen.
Hands in the air immediately.
Beautiful.
All right, now I do believe she still has one Lachey challenge.
Oh, let's go. Looks like Sydney ripped on that one.
She's got one Lachey challenge left and about 5 rips on her hands right now.
Damn, that's going to hurt. Uh-huh.
Just caking it on there with chalk, filling in those dents, sending it right back up to the bar.
Trying to cover that blood with chalk. We'll see how that goes. Okay, Hannah Kim. Nice upstart, getting those hips up too. Okay, she's got the height. She's just got to go a little bit further now.
Technique is there, just a hair more power and it's there.
So what do you think? She's got to release a little bit earlier?
I think she needs a little bit more on that backswing, to be honest with you.
Okay, okay.
See what Sydney's got. She just hit a very big Lachey. She should be feeling comfortable with this. If she can commit to a bigger cast, I think she's got it.
Oh, that's not got to feel good on those hands. She is feeling everything through those callus rips. Oh, my goodness.
Holding them up in the air. Just no, not another.
Sydney. Shaking her head. Getting the social media post for Tempest.
All right, Kasha hitting that Kong pre-plyo.
Let's go. Okay, let's see if Hannah can get that extra backswing.
Better.
Oh, almost
Ooh.
there. But not quite driving those heels back. I see what
Yep.
you're saying now.
And you could see it a bit on Sydney's last one where she casted back, got her hips up, but never actually extended them out. Where on the pop cast Lachey that she did earlier, she was able to actually start with those hips out, and there was no controlling it for her. It had to be out. If she can commit to that on her next one, I think she's on the bar.
Yeah, she's been kind of half casting from this. I think if she just puts her full strength into it, which can be quite difficult with her hands feeling the way that they do.
In the famous words of somebody, if she does it right now, she doesn't have to do it again.
Oh, come on!
And you know, grabbing onto that bar, that second bar and sliding down is not feeling good on the rips.
All hands, no feet on that last attempt. That cannot feel good for Sydney.
All right, Louise up here. Good upstart.
Oh.
We got Kasha on the Cat 180 right now. I think she's just feeling out the second part of the challenge. Kind of getting a gauge for it. It is a 9-foot pillar and a bit of a hefty drop if you don't make the precision.
And let's see if Hannah can make the corrections she needs. Nice, I see that heel scoop. Oh, kicking off the block.
That turned out better than it did in my head.
Yo, can you imagine like an inward side flip from that? That would be crazy.
Can I? No. Trying to get a gauge on how many challenges, who has what challenges left. We do have about just under 6 minutes left to hit these challenges. Sydney's working her way back up onto the bar, and it looks like Alyssa is looking at this drop pre in front of us. See how Sydney hits this. Got to commit to it.
Come on.
Better.
Oh, had the distance.
Now, the other piece of Lachey's that we haven't talked about yet is the tap. And the tap happens as you're coming down directly under the bar from your backswing. That's going to help you control your swing significantly. And if you don't get a good tap, you're going to be pretty out of control as you release. And you can see on that one, she stayed pretty rigid all the way through the swing.
Oh. And speaking of taps, a really good tap from Hannah. Just need to see maybe a little bit more swing off of her upstart.
And I think what you said earlier is right. If she could commit to a cast and control it, she's there.
Yeah, absolutely. A cast will take you there, no problem. It's just the act of holding on to that cast and staying on that wild ride.
All right, we just saw there Kasha piecing through this Cat 180 challenge. It looks like she has all the pieces. The problem is putting it together with no pause between the cat leap and the 180 pre.
Yeah, you really have to know what you're doing before you go for these challenges. Hannah
Kasha.
busting out a sweat. And also, in the wise words of a person we do not know, one more. One more, let's go. Oh,
Ooh.
both hands on once again. She's just not getting the turn of the hips, so her feet aren't finding the wall.
Yep. One thing that I have noticed, she is getting more power. A little bit's coming from the swing, but a lot of it's coming from the shoulder throw on release. She's putting more and more behind that. All right, let's go, Kasha. Let's see what you got. Jumps to the wall, gets her feet in position. She has yet to get the stick. Oh, it's looking like it's a little bit big. Now, one thing that does help with these catbacks is getting your initial starting foot in that cat leap a bit higher. That'll allow you to pull higher and take off from higher on the wall. These athletes have already been going for about 27 minutes, a little bit under, so they got to be feeling pretty gassed right now. Sydney Olsen again, almost hitting that grab, but not quite getting there. Trying to look around. It's like a lot of people are resting. Some athletes are done. Louisa on the bar right now. Good backswing. Got to release with those shoulders. Just undershot it. Kasha on the wall going for that 180. Makes it on top. Let's go.
And I might have missed it, but did she complete the Lachey challenge?
Kasha did, yes.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Kasha hit the massive Lachey.
Excellent. It looks like that's every single challenge for Kasha. Very good.
We got Alyssa sitting right in front of us, looking for this drop pre.
And it looks like it's just a little bit too far for what she's comfortable with. She's done a couple impact tests, so I don't think that's the issue.
Couple impact tests. I also saw her testing the distance on flat as well. Now, because it's so droppy, you do not have to jump as far, but it's so much riskier if you're not sure.
Yeah, and that is a grim bounce back, especially if it's not controlled. Right onto that cube, that would be no good.
All right, let's go, Sydney. Big cast. Get those hips out. Come on, commit to it. Send it. Hold it. Oh.
And you can see on her cast, she's keeping her legs tucked, which may be robbing her of some of the power from that cast.
You're completely right. Got to extend those legs a little bit. If I was a coach, that's what I'd be telling her. If there's one thing you can say about Sydney, though, she is not a quitter. She is ripped at least 10 minutes ago, and she is still going. I saw her hold her fingers up. One more. She's got to extend her hips on the cast.
Sydney Olsen has to extend her hips on the cast.
Hannah, let's
and
go.
a stick from Hannah. Finishing up those challenges.
She's got no time to wait. She's going for the Cat 180 pre.
And has she tested this one? I don't think I've seen that so far.
I haven't seen her up there yet.
Getting those shoe wipes in, very, very important.
She knows she only has about a minute left. Sydney's on the bar, Hannah's on the cat.
Let's see if Sydney will take our advice.
All or nothing right here. Big cast, send it.
That's more.
Get it.
Ah!
Oh, Hannah, really good save on that one. She went for the Cat 180, overdid it slightly too far to her right. Caught herself very well, though.
And now this is where things get hectic, is in the last part of the competition. Last attempt for Louisa. In the air. And does not get it.
Great work from all of our athletes. The crowd's going crazy right now.
Those last attempts in the last minute to 30 seconds of a jam-style skill component, things can get really, really hectic.
You could really see it. Came down to that 2-minute mark, and everybody kind of kicked it into the next gear. They said, it's now or never. I'm going. If I complete one, I'm running straight to the next one.
And it looks like we're going to be heading to a commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Sydney, let's see your hands.
Yeah.
Oh my
that
God.
is a puddle of blood.
Sydney Olsen is collecting rips. Holy crap.
Hey, but like I said, she does not quit on a challenge. That's what we like to see.
You know, hands like a jelly donut right now. They call her Jelly Donut Hands Olsen.
Oh, we are right. That's good. That didn't need to be in there.
Oh, back, break, back.
I don't know. Whatever. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Dude, I'm having a time. Literally, like, feeling more in the swing of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, looks like we are back. The men are warming up for the skill components. I'm going to read off to you some of our competitors we have here. From Owl's Gang, we have Tim Champion, all the way from Cornwall, UK.
Now, I got to cut you off just for a quick second. We got a few of these highlight replays from our last event, the women's skill. And as you can see there, we have a bit of slow motion. Sydney hitting that sideways cat. Not quite the one, but you can see her working through it, right?
Just a few too many adjustments from her.
And as we do move forward into men's skill, these are some things that we're seeing right now that are really going to cost the men's skill if they're not hitting things plyometrically, if they're not hitting quickly, and too many adjustments between each skill. Kasha there, as you can see, she catches the wall, drops directly down, then sends it in. It looks like that one didn't get counted. I'm going to have to check and see why, though. Louisa hitting that beautiful Kong Pre plyo and just barely holding on. How beautiful is that? I think we saw that 3 times. Not the cleanest sticks, but the perseverance to hold on to it. Renee barely catching the bottom side of that pole and climbing to the top. As long as you catch it, it's a win.
And I think we're going to see that stick from Hannah once again. Oh, no.
Ooh, I did miss that little slip forward from Hannah there.
But at least she slipped forward, not backward.
True. Strong legs, too. Ended in that pistol Scott. Was able to save it without any problems.
Kasia was looking good for that 180. Very strong.
Sydney Olsen going with that upstart from the beginning. Let's see.
Poor Sydney.
Yeah, I think she was right to switch to the cast for the rest of her attempts.
But I think she has completed enough challenges to get herself to semifinals. We'll have to see at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, these initial skills rounds can get a little bit hectic. It's very hard for us to keep track of exactly what's going on. So we got some people behind the scenes who are going to update us as soon as they can.